Do not leave your healing to the mercy of time. Time does not heal emotional wounds. Only Christ does. If you leave your healing to the mercy of time, you're going to end up becoming bitter about what has happened. There are many people who could become passive after they have been wounded. Truly they forgive, but within they are still hurt. They have built walls of defense just to protect themselves from future occurrence, and then in a bid to do that, they become a prisoner of the past. Do not leave your healing to the mercy of time. There was something that happened in the book of 2 Samuel chapter 13 when Amnon slept with his sister, raped his sister Tamar. His brother Absalom decided not to talk about it, and Bible says that Tamar lived in his brother's house, bitter and desolate. We don't know what became of Tamar, whether she eventually got married, but then there was a root of bitterness that stirred up in her because of what was done to her. Let me tell you, when you become passive about a situation, when you don't walk in forgiveness, the root of bitterness will be stirred in you, and it will influence your future decision. There are many people that become defensive. They act as though they are fine, but within they're actually broken. They are not taking intentional steps towards their healing, thinking with time they will get over it. The truth about emotional wound is that it can be as fresh as it was 10 years ago. It can still be as fresh today as it was 10 years ago. So you don't leave your healing to the mercy of time. You must take deliberate steps towards walking in healing. You must be vulnerable when it comes to emotion. Allow Jesus to walk through that pain. Bible says in Psalms 147 verse 3 that he heals the brokenhearted and he binds up their wound. When you're not vulnerable with your emotions, when you live in self-denial as though you are fine, you will end up in bitterness, and that will affect your future. You become a prisoner of your past experiences. So I want to encourage you, do not be passive with your wounds. Don't be passive in your brokenness. Make sure you let it out. Open up. Tell God about how you feel. Let go. Bible says we have a high priest that can sympathize with the feelings of our infirmities. Tell him this is how you feel. Allow Jesus to walk through that pain so that he can give you total healing. In 2 Samuel, I need you to see this in 2 Samuel 13. In 2 Samuel 13, verse 20, that was after Tamar had been raped by Amnon. Bible says her brother Absalom said to her, "Has your brother Amnon had his way with you? Now, my dear sister, let's keep it quiet. A family matter. He's after all your brother. Don't take this so hard." Tamar lived in her brother Absalom's home, bitter and desolate. Absalom decided to be passive about the situation. One thing about unforgiveness is you can be passive about it for so long, but it is stirring up within you a root of bitterness that can lead to a dangerous outrage in the future. Verse 23 to 24, Bible says 2 years went by. One day Absalom threw a sheep shearing party in Balhazor in the vicinity of Ephraim and invited all the king's sons. So what happened here is, after 2 years, Absalom planned an event that led to the death of Amnon. He decided to take revenge for what was done to his sister. See, people who are passive about their emotional wound eventually become so bitter, and that bitterness can lead to a dangerous outburst, a dangerous outrage. And that's why you don't leave your healing to the mercy of time. Time will not heal you. Allow God to walk through that pain. The truth is that if you don't allow God to heal you, you are going to project your past pain on your future possibilities. You will make people that did not offend you to pay for what other people did to you. You will bring your past trauma into your future possibilities, and God does not want you to live this way. That brokenness will affect your future experiences. I want to encourage you. Are you wounded? Are you emotionally down? Is there a wound in your soul that needs to be healed? Take it to Jesus. Tell him how you feel. Bible says he heals the brokenhearted. There is healing for you. Jesus is concerned about your emotions. Don't live in self-denial. Don't be passive. One thing about emotional pain is that it can be as fresh today as it was a decade ago. It can be as fresh as it was 20 years ago. Being passive about it does not translate to automatic healing. Being passive about it does not mean you're automatically walking in healing. And let me tell you, you must deliberately forgive those who have hurt you. Unforgiveness will only strengthen the memory of the past. Unforgiveness will strengthen the memory of the pain. When you choose to walk in unforgiveness, what has been done, the devil will keep magnifying what has been done in your present situation. So you must decide to forgive. Whether the people that offended you deliberately acknowledge what they did or not. You don't wait for the love of God in us, does not wait for people to acknowledge what they did before we walk in forgiveness. We must choose to forgive so that we can release ourselves from being from the prison of the past, so that you not become a prisoner of your past. The walls of defense you have built in your soul, in your mind, to prevent future occurrence will hinder both good and bad people from coming into your life. It will hinder you from seeing future possibilities. It will make people in your future pay for what people in your past did to you. So I want to encourage you, if you're emotionally wounded, look to God for healing. Allow him to walk through your pain. I believe this has blessed you. You can share this video with other people, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Seye Benjamin-Agbo. God bless you. See you next time.